Hello everybody again. So today we're going to make massaman curry using lamb. And I think sort of well-known secret, or however you want to phrase it, the Icelandic lamb tends to be really nice. In Iceland they sell like these frozen like packs of lamb. This is actually like really cheap and really nice, but intended for basically soups. So the Icelanders make their sort of winter lamb soups, really nice soups, and this is basically meat which is a bit fatty. It doesn't really work for much other stuff, got bones in it, etc. Works really well for soups, and I was thinking it's probably actually ideal for massaman curry. So sometimes, like, if you make a sort of lamb soup out of lamb which is sort of gamey, it gives a really sort of pungent sort of gamey taste. I don't like that at all. Some lamb is better than others in that regard. Some countries tend to have lamb which has more of that sort of lanolin type sort of woolly taste. Not for me, but Icelandic lamb has very little of that. Obviously you can have it, but it's quite rare. And so usually you could just dump this soup, these packs of soup meat. Usually you'd like let it simmer for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. The longer the better, really. But since I've got an instant pot here, if you're doing this in a weekday, you don't want to simmer for ages. So instant pot's your friend. A pressure cooker. Now I haven't actually seen anyone really using a pressure cooker in Thailand. I haven't actually ever seen a pressure cooker in a Thai kitchen, although it may have changed these days. Maybe this instant pot revolution has changed things to some degree, but haven't seen it. But what we're going to basically do is take this pack of lamb, and just chuck the whole thing in the instant pot. The idea being, we want it really to be as flat as possible, but the idea being that we can pressure cook it to make it really nice and tender, and then use it in the massaman curry later on. So in order to pressure cook the lamb, we're going to need some liquid in it. Now I don't want to put loads of water because I could do, but then I have to simmer it right down because then we'll lose all the flavour. So what I'm going to try and do, because obviously we're going to be putting coconut milk in it, I'm going to try and take the thin bits and use that at least. So we should reduce somewhat the need for water. Yeah, so I poured basically the liquid, the thin coconut milk from both cartons, with a bit of the actual coconut cream. I think that's probably plenty since this is going to be pressure cooked. So I guess we're just going to have to try it. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. So here we go. So let's close this up. Let's see what we've got. I guess manual settings, okay. 30 minutes should be more than enough. High pressure, and off it goes. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now we're just going to leave that and let it cook, and then come back to it once that's done. Okay, so this is basically cooked and just cooled down. You give it a taste. It basically tastes like nice lamb with coconut milk. It's oily from the fat in the stewing meat, soup stewing meat, which is good. That works good for massaman. Is it pretty? No, not really. Not particularly, but it will be. Right, so let's look at all the ingredients that we've got today. So obviously we've got the lamb waiting. This is just store-made, store-bought Massaman paste. I've never used this brand before. Just gonna have to see what it's like. I don't feel bad at all about using, store-bought curry paste. Thai people do it all the time. It's the ingredients that are in this are difficult to source and fresh enough, and etc. So, and it would be expensive. So I really think that just go for it. So what we've got: curry paste, some tamarind, obviously, fish sauce, sugar. And the thing about Massaman is you need to balance those flavors. So towards the end, we'll be sort of trying to balance them out. Here's the coconut cream from earlier, MSG. Peanuts, these are just regular salted peanuts. Some salad potatoes, peeled, raw. And if I forget anything, I'll add it in a bit. Alright. Right, so let's continue. First thing we're going to do is, some people say don't add oil. I don't know, I like to add a bit of oil. Some oil in. Yeah. And then just put all the paste in. Now what I've done is I've strained the light coconut milk, and I've basically just put all of the lamb straight in, and we're going to sort of let that cook off a bit. Now that the oil has separated nicely and it's had a chance to cook down a bit, I'm just going to pour the rest of the coconut milk in. And as you can see, starting to resemble a curry very soon. See all that nice oil? Amazing. Right. So I mean, this is the point where I would add the potatoes as well, because they're going to need to cook for quite a while, and we don't want to cook them on high heat. Cooking a Thai curry is not a question of a really hot wok and loads of BTUs. It's actually more of a question of patience, simmering. We don't want the coconut milk to curdle. We want it to be nice and balanced, and then we're going to even everything out a bit later on with the sugar, the fish sauce, or the tamarind paste, and we'll put the peanuts in at some point as well. Alright. So now it's basically, you can see it's coming to a boil. We really don't want to boil it like any more than that. We're just going to turn it right down, move it on to smaller burner. And then let it simmer basically for a while. Probably going to need to give it half an hour at least. Right, so it's been simmering away for maybe 15 minutes or so. Smell is absolutely amazing. Probably about time to put those peanuts in. So just dump them in. A bit of stir. And then we're just going to let it simmer until, I guess, potatoes are ready. And then we're going to adjust taste and all that. Right, so that's been simmering away nicely. Potatoes are done. So it's time for the taste adjustments. So let's see. Definitely salty. It's not very sweet, so I think we're going to start off with the sugar, and then we're going to leave the fish sauce for now. Oh, just put a chunk of that. Okay, it's a little bit sweeter. Let's try a little bit squirt of this tamarind. Should add a bit of sourness to it. Let's see. Okay. So at this point I'm going to say I need more sugar actually. Bit of time to dissolve nicely. Tastes absolutely amazing, by the way. The lamb is absolutely perfect. Okay. That's interesting. So it's definitely sort of mellowed out a lot. So I'm going to put a bit of fish sauce in that. Haven't put any MSG yet, but the reason I'm not putting MSG is because MSG is a flavor enhancer. So you really want to sort of get your base flavors right before you start chucking MSG in it. Okay. It's definitely mellowed out a lot, so let's put a bit of MSG and see what that does. And the other thing we haven't put in is any chili. Now, some people say Massaman should be really mild. I don't really agree. In Thailand I always liked it spicy, so. Okay. So it's really got that sort of deep taste back now that I put the MSG. I think what we're going to do is put some chili, let it simmer for a few more minutes, let all of those sort of spices combine, and then we'll sort of take stock at that point. Right, so it's been simmering away for another 5 minutes or so, and all the flavours have combined nicely, and I was sort of tempted to sort of start adding more stuff because there's a taste which I didn't quite recognize initially, but then I just realized actually that's just the lamb. So I'm going to say it's ready. I'm going to turn it off, wait another 5 minutes, serve. Thanks.